Okay, today's hiragana is going to be from the consonant T group in this column. Let me talk about this sound. This is supposed to be the combination of the consonant T and the vowel E. However, in Japanese, we don't have T sound as in iced tea in English. Instead, we have Chi sound. So this hiragana letter represents the pronunciation of Chi and not T. Same goes with this one. This is not tu, since there's no tu sound in Japanese. Instead, we have tsu. So the pronunciation of this letter is not tu, it is tsu. Let's go over the 5 letters in the T group. This is ta, chi, tsu, te, to, ta chi tsu te to, ta chi tsu te to. Again, they are not ta ti tu te to. They are ta chi tsu te to. As always, each letter will be presented with a hiragana model like this. The number indicates stroke order. And I'm going to say the numbers in Japanese in this video, so you're going to hear 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. The alphabet letters indicate how to finish the stroke. The S, this means stop. The R means release. And one more, B, this means brush up. Okay, on to the first letter for today, ta. 1, stop. 2, stop. 3, stop. 4, stop. Place stroke number 3 and 4 between these two lines. So you shouldn't write your ta like this. In this example, you either have to bring up stroke number 4 higher or make number 2 longer. This ta doesn't look right either. What's wrong with this one? Right, the last 2 strokes are placed too close to number 2. Move them a little bit away from number 2, like this. The next letter is chi. 1, stop. 2, release. Towards the end of stroke number 2, be sure to release before it gets to this line. Also, the beginning of number 2 is slightly diagonal. So you shouldn't write your chi like this. The next letter is tsu. 1, release, and that's it. Finish the stroke half the way going back to the beginning point. So your tsu shouldn't look like this. Also, keep the letter flat and then do not write your tsu like this. The next letter is te. 1, stop. Here's the center line, and the curvy part of this letter should either touch this line or slightly go beyond this line. So do not write something like this or something like this. The last letter for today is to. 1, stop. Ni, stop. The entire body of this letter has to fit in between these two lines. And here's the bottom line. Make sure that the ending part of stroke number 2 is nicely placed over this line. So do not write jato like this. では、ここでひらがなを読んでみましょう。Let's read some hiragana letters now. I am going to include previously learned letters too, so see for yourself how much you remember, okay? The first one, what is this? This is Chi Tsu Ta Te To Ku Shi. What about this one? This is Tsu. How about this one? This is Ta Ko. Taco. Taco means octopus. This one? This is Tsu Ku E. Tsukue. Tsukue means desk. One more. What about this one? Chi Ka Te Tsu. Right. 地下鉄。地下鉄 means subway. 今度はひらがなを書いてみましょう。Now let's try writing these hiragana letters. The first one. てきあついことし As usual, you can pause the video here and take as much time as you need to finish writing. I'm going to show you the answers after counting to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. では答えです。Okay, let's take a look at the answers now. てきあついことし How did you do? As I always say, don't feel bad about making mistakes. It's all part of learning. Take one letter at a time and keep practicing, okay? Okay, now that you have learned how to write ta chi tsu te to, let's move on to the D sounds. In the previous lessons, you have learned how to change K sounds, ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, to G sounds, ga, gi, gu, ge, go, and also S sounds, sa, shi, su, se, so, to Z sounds, za, ji, zu, ze, zo. So you should be able to easily guess how to change T sounds, ta, chi, tsu, te, to, to D sounds. Right, you just need to add 10-10, the two short strokes to each letter to make them D sounds. As always, be sure to nicely place them at the upper right corner of the letter. Okay, let's go over the D sounds in hiragana. This is da, ji, zu, de, do, da, ji, zu, de, do. Now I need to talk about these two sounds. We don't have D sound and do sound in Japanese. Instead of D, we have G. And instead of do, we have zu. Not D, but G. Not do, but zu. So the T group goes like this. Ta Chi Tsu Te To. They are not Ta Di Do De Do. They are Ta Chi Tsu Te To. Now, those who remember the previous lesson about the Z sounds may have noticed something strange here. These are Ta Chi Tsu Te To, right? Do you remember the pronunciation of the 5 sounds in the Z group? Right, they are Ta Chi Tsu Te To. Take a look at these 2 groups. There are 2 pairs with same sounds. Do you notice them? Chi plus tenten is pronounced G, and Shi plus tenten is also G. The other pair is this one. Tsu plus tenten is pronounced Zu, and Su plus tenten is also Zu. There are 2 ways to write G and then 2 ways to write Zu in hiragana. If I want to spell kanji, for example, which G do I use? If I want to spell chizu, which means map in Japanese, which Zu do I use? Which one to use? Unfortunately, there is no way to figure out which one to use. It is a matter of spelling and things that you have to memorize when you learn the word for the first time. Let me give you an example. Legal procedure in Japanese is tetsuzuki, and quiet is shizuka. Both have the sound of zu in it, right? But the word legal procedure takes tsu with tenten, and quiet takes su with tenten. This is something that you memorize when you learn legal procedure and quiet in Japanese. So when you spell legal procedure in Japanese, it's going to be tetsuzuki like this, and quiet shizuka like this. Think of this as something similar to what you do with English. For example, C versus C. These 2 words have the same pronunciation, but are spelled differently to convey 2 different meanings. You cannot spell S-E-E with the intention of saying ocean, right? In the same way, you cannot use su plus tenten for the meaning of legal procedure. It has to be tsu plus tenten. Okay, now let's read some words with these sounds. Can you read this one? This is de-gu-chi. Deguchi. Deguchi means exit in Japanese. Next one. Right, this is da-i-ga-ku. Daigaku. Daigaku means college or university. Last one. To-ki-do-ki. Tokidoki. Tokidoki means sometimes. どうでしたか? How was today's lesson? I hope you had fun learning たちつてと and たちつてと today.